And if you have any questions, please ask it in the Q&A. We'll start the Q&A in some time. Okay. So a quick introduction to our host. So Jyoti, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hey everybody, welcome to the Mumbai Tug. So I am Jyoti. I'm based in Mumbai and I'm a Tableau Public Ambassador as well. Currently working as a senior associate at JP Morgan. And yeah, this is my passion that I really like working on the analysis and the visualization part. Basically anything to do with data. So connect with me if you want to have a chat around data analytics, visualization, UI, UX, anything. I run out of time on weekdays, but yeah, weekends definitely connect with me on LinkedIn or anywhere you want. I'm really looking forward to the sessions by Arshi and Surya.
Thank you, Jyoti. And you should actually see Jyoti's public profile. The point that she's passionate about data and visualization, it really shows up in in her profile. So hi there, I'm Viraj. I'm located in Mumbai. I'm a lead analyst at Merkle, a Dentsu company. I'm a returning user group ambassador for this year. I also co-lead the Tableau newbies user group. So I welcome you to join that group as well. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I am right now pretty active there compared to earlier when I was more active on Twitter X and kind of moved away from it. And if you want to know more about me, you can Google Data Tastemaker, or you can ask a Chat GPT or Copilot about who is Data Taste. It will give you a lot information about me. Okay, a quick note. So Tableau has come up with a wonderful, what do you say, an opportunity for us to connect more closely. So there is a community on Slack which has gone live. This was launched in the TC this year. So scan the QR code. I will put the link in the chat as well, and hope to see you join this community Slack. It's all about the Tableau community, data fam all around the world. There are already about 2500 people there already. Me, Arshi, Surya, Jyoti are already there. So please do join. And there are a lot of content and channels available where you can discuss, chat, and meet all the different data leaders all throughout the world. Okay, so what's in store for today? Yes, we have two awesome, great content and great speakers. But let's first talk about why they are here today. So they are here because they are the Data Farm Rising Stars, something which the community selected and voted them for this year. So what is this Data Farm Rising Star? It's a initiative led by Adam Mako, and it identifies the future leaders of the Data Farm community, the Tableau community. So these leaders or these rising stars are there. They are probably on the way of becoming the Tableau ambassadors of Visionary for tomorrow. Probably compete in the Iron Viz and win as well. And also there are many folks who have joined the Tableau team. So that's the roadmap that we see for these Data Fam Rising Stars. And this year we are so honored to have 8 Data Fam Rising Stars from India. So that's a big great achievement, and that helps see how the Data Fam is growing in India. So that's awesome. And from we would be having a few more Data Fam Rising Stars come and speak at Mumbai Talks. So right now we are starting with Arshi and Surya. So Arshi, she is a freelance information designer. She's based off in Kolkata, India. She has two viz of the day. So if you know what this, if you don't know what viz of the days is, I'll post a link in the chat soon, and then you can explore. That's it's a community voting of your visualizations on Tableau Public, which gets the maximum vote, and also the team evaluates it and identifies if the viz that you have built in Tableau Public is the viz of the day. Okay. And one of the prestigious thing is that her entry, three of her entries have been featured in the Information is Beautiful Awards. It's a big achievement, and it's a big acknowledgement of her great work. Okay. So thank you, Arshi, for s- taking the time to speak at Mumbai Tech. So over to you.
Thank you so much for having me, Vira. Just give me a minute. I'll just share my screen. Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. Our topic for today that I'll be talking about is creative uses of dynamic zone visibility in Tableau. And before I move into the topic, of a quick introduction. Thank you, Viraj, for the lovely introduction that you've already done. So, I'm from Kolkata and I'm a freelance Tableau developer and information designer. I started my Tableau journey in 2021. I was introduced to it, but my actual journey started in October 2023 under the mentorship of Tableau visionary Prasan Prem, which I'm sure many of you already know him. And it was as a part of a DVS mentorship program, and it's been an amazing ride so far. I last year I was made my first Iron Viz entry, so do check it out on my profile. And I completed the 30-day chart challenge last year, and that was also a great learning experience. And I was really honored by because I was nominated for in 7 categories for the Vizzy Awards and shortlisted for one. So thank you, DataFarm, for that. And so today I'm going to be talking about two creative use cases. One of them is zooming in and zooming out, and the other one is adding a texture or a pattern image using DZV. Before I go into the details, I just want to do a quick recap of what is dynamic zones visibility. So this was a feature that was added to Tableau Desktop in 2022.3 version. And what it does is that you can use it to hide or reveal zones in the dashboard, which is basically tiled or floating dashboard elements. And the one thing that you need to keep in mind for using dynamic zone visibility is that the field or parameter that you're using must be either a boolean, a single value, or independent of the viz. Now the use cases that I'm sharing today, both I'll be mainly using booleans and single values. And to set dynamic zone visibility is actually really simple. You just need to select the vertical or horizontal container or any worksheet that you have in your dashboard. And then on the uh, top left hand side, under the layout tab, you will see the option of control visibility using value. Now, what you need to do is you need to check this box, and then you will use this drop down arrow, and you will get an option of the calculated fields or parameters, and you based on what exactly is your use case or what is your design requirement, you can choose the right option, and you're good to go. Usually it's you need a we usually we pair it up with a parameters so that you can make use and add in a few buttons to make changes and make it look nice. uh, just give- so I'll give you a quick walk through my dashboard. Firstly, just a quick demo of what exactly the zoom in and zoom out feature is. So when we have business cases, business dashboards, then space is a big issue. And if we have charts like these, like a line chart or a bar chart, then it's still okay. But for something like this scatter plot, this limited space makes it very difficult to really know what's going on. So you can use this zoom in and zoom out feature. Just click on this tab, and you get an expanded view of this chart. And once you're done having a good look at it and making your exploring it and analyzing it, just click on this button to collapse, and you're back to the screen where all your charts are visible. So I personally think this is a very helpful use case for business dashboards, and there are quite a few other people who have done great work, who have created used the zoom in and zoom out option and created dashboards. There is one by Samuel, I think. Person, and he has this really elaborate and extensive use case wherein when you click on the zoom feature, you don't get the same chart that's there on the first dashboard, but you actually get a totally different chart with a more elaborate view. So I'll be sharing the link for that, Wiz. You can go and take a look at it. But this is a much simpler use case. So what we need to do here to create this is that firstly we'll create the charts that we need. So in my case, I have a line chart, a scatter plot, a box plot, and a comparison chart. And this is just a demo dashboard. So please bear with me because some of the design elements are not so great. And what we need to do is we start by creating a parameter. So I've named it Zoom Selector, and you can name anything that you're comfortable with. So the data type is string, and it's a list. And what we are going to do here is that we're going to list all the charts that we are going to have in the view. And the last option is an all view. So what this view, when this is selected, what it will do is that you will have all the four options together, which is the view we have already seen and I've shared it with you. And now, next we need to create the zoom buttons. So to do that, what we need is we need two shapes. One is for zooming out and one is for zooming in. And you need to add those shapes to your My Tableau repository in the shape folder in My Tableau repository, and reload those shapes. So in my case, I've added it in the icons folder inside the shape folder, and just reload it and they'll appear. And then you can use it when you are changing the shapes. Next, what we do is that we need two calculated fields. One is a zoom state, which is nothing but you are just setting the zoom selector not equal to all. So when this is true, then you will have a single chart in view. And when this is false, then you will have all the charts in view. One pro tip that I'll give for documentation is that when you're creating calculated fields, you can click on this arrow, and then you can go to the default properties and add comments. What this helps is that when if somebody inherits the workbook or somebody is going through the workbook, then it gives them an idea of what exactly was the purpose of creating a chart of creating this chart. So yeah, we need another calculated field, which is the zoom selector value. And here what we are going to do is we are going to use this to toggle the buttons. So what happens is that if the zoom selector, we are going to use an IIF statement. So if the zoom selector is set to all, and if this is true, then it changes to charts. And if this is false, then it changes to all. And this is, we'll drop this to the detail shelf. We'll drop the zoom state to the shape shelf of the marks card. And okay, just give me a minute. Sorry for that. Yeah. So once you do that, you can select the shapes for the zoom out option. This is the shape that we're using, and for the when we change the zoom selector to line chart, we'll get this shape, and you just edit this shape and change it to this. I've used this particular shape. You can use any shape that you think is works for a collapse button. Now we have we have to create uh, there is this one thing that I missed out. I'm so sorry for it. Is that we have to create? We need a column called. I've named it charts. You can name it anything, and we just need to list all the charts that we have in view. That is the line chart, the scatter plot, the box plot, and the comparison. And you need to open an Excel sheet. You need to copy that column and then paste it on the worksheet here. And once you do that, you'll see on the right hand side the under the data tab, the clipboard will appear, and that particular column charts will be available under the tables option. Just drop it to the filters, because the first zoom button that I'm creating is for the line chart. I've set it for the line chart, and you just need to duplicate this and change the option to scatter plot for the scatter plot button, box for when we're using it for the box plot, and so on. So once we are done with this, we have the zoom buttons ready. Now we'll move to the dashboard. So we'll open a new dashboard, and what we need to do here is that there'll be a lot of nested containers that we'll be working with. So firstly, we'll have a horizontal container, which I've added a red border to it. Another pro tip that I'll add is that if you want to select a parent container, just double click on the handle and the parent container. You can select the parent container. So in this case, I want to select the innermost container. So I'm good. Yeah. So now I have it. This is the inside horizontal container, the first container that I'll drop in. And then inside it, I'll drop in two vertical containers, which have green borders, as you can see. And inside each vertical container, there will be two more vertical containers. So working with containers, I mean, I think this is the biggest challenge of this particular viz, is to how to handle these containers. And one pro tip that I will have here is that when you're working with containers, where as and when you're adding the containers, just drop a blank object inside it, and then once you've added the containers that you want, just remove the blank object, and that really helps keep track of things. And if you add a background color to the blank object, then it makes it all the more easier to track it. Yeah. So now what we have is that we have four vertical parent vertical containers are have green borders, and the inner four vertical containers have orange borders, as you can see. And we need to select each of these containers and set the visibility for that. Now, to set the visibility for each of these containers, we need 6 calculated fields. So we go back to our worksheet and we create these calculated fields. For the four charts that we have, we'll create zoom selector. If the zoom selector is selected box plot or all, then this particular container will be visible. Same goes for the line chart, for the scatter plot, etc. And then for the inside parent containers that we have, which are the vertical containers, here, since the left vertical container has the line chart and the box plot, we are going to include all these options along with all. So if the zoom selector is set to any one of these values, then this is going to be visible. Otherwise, it'll be hidden. So once we've done that, now we come back to our dashboard. Now it's the simple, easy last part is select the container. So for the first one, I'll select control visibility using value and visibility line. The next one is the box plot, and then double click on this handle to select the vertical container behind and set the visibility for that. Once you've done all the, when you've set the visibility for all the containers, the last thing that you need is, of course, the parameter action. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on actions, and then we're going to create a parameter action. So select the dashboard, and for the sheets, we are going to select all the zoom buttons. It will run on select, and then the target parameter is zoom selector, and the source field is going to be the zoom selector value, which we created initially. And here we go. Now it should work fine. You can download this workbook, and I've added captions to the sheets for documentation. So just follow along, and I think everything should be uh, understandable for this particular use case. Now, our next use case is, yeah, before I go to the next use case, a few key takeaways that I learned from this particular, while creating this particular viz, was that when you're working with containers, you add a blank object, so it makes it easier to manage it, and drop the drop the container or the worksheet at the intersection of the blank sheet and the first container. And once you're done, you can remove the blank object. And yeah, there's another option that you have. So in a dashboard, when you have multiple containers and you want to make sure that all of them are distributed evenly, just select the container and click on distribute contents evenly. So that will make sure that both everything is aligned properly. And of course, for documentation, use captions, add comments to the fields, and overall, when you come back to the workbook a few years later, you know what exactly you've done. And also, if you're sharing it with anybody, then it makes it easier for them. Now, our next use case is how to use or how to add a texture or pattern uh, or an annotation using images and DVZ. So I had created this particular viz for it was a makeover Monday submission, week 48, 2024, and the topic was Christmas gifts. So when I saw this particular data set, I wanted the first thing that came to my mind is that I wanted to create something which looked like gift boxes, and the chart that came to my mind was, of course, a tree map, because that's it has squares in it. So but I wanted to give the feel of a wrapping paper, so to do that, I wanted a whiz which had now uh, to do that, use it I found the regular chart options that were available. It was very difficult to do this. So at that time, I was attending a Tableau tug event, and I was watching Jim Denner. He was it was about dynamic zone visibility, and he was sharing use cases. And after watching his presentation, I got this idea that maybe, I can play around, use DZV, and add images in the background, and place a chart on top, so that I have the interactivity, the tooltip of the charts, but at the same time also have the texture pattern that I want at the back. Now, to create this, first we'll create the charts just the way we did it previously. So create the tree maps. Now, I opened an empty dashboard and I dropped in the tree map inside, so that I know exactly what is the now. I wanted to make sure that all the boxes, all the labels for all the boxes were visible. So the key to that is that you drop it in the into an empty dashboard, and then take a screenshot. And then I went back. I opened a Figma file. You can even use uh, any other design software that you're more comfortable with. And then I designed. Just give me, yeah. So I opened a Figma file and went back to that, and then I click on this button, and then you can open a new frame. And then I added in the uploaded the image that I had screenshotted, and then recreated this but with texture and patterns. So now I had an image for the US tree map, and I had one for the UK tree map. And also, while I was at it, I created some beautiful legends, I created some buttons, and then back to Tableau. Okay, so now that I'm here, again we need to just the way we had created zoom button, again we are going to create another set of buttons. So here again the same process we are going to do is that we are going to create in an Excel sheet. We are going to create a column. I call it chart. You can name it anything that you want. You can call it buttons, and just add all the names that you have. Like I have three charts here. So there was like UK, there was US, and there was another chart for both, which is basically a pyramid chart, as you can see it here. So drop in chart to the shape card, and change the marks card to shape, and then you can select and edit the shape. Now, just like before, we've already added the shapes to the My Tableau repository, and it's available for us to use. Select the shapes that you want, and yeah, now we'll move on to our again, we create a parameter, just a list of all the charts that we have, UK field in this particular use case. So we have like, we have set when location parameter is equal to UK, and similarly for US and for both, you will create 3 calculated fields. This is what we'll be using to set the visibility. Now we come back to the dashboard, and there is a little trick for the placements here. So what we need to do is that for the first set of like we'll drop in a container, and inside it we'll drop in all 3 chart images. So, and on top of this, we will be placing another container, and in that container we'll be adding the charts. So at the background we have a container with the 3 images, and we'll be selecting each one of the images, and we'll be setting the visibility using the calculated field. So, and then on top of that we'll be placing a floating container, and that particular container will have all the 3 charts. So we'll drop in the UK, US, and the board charts in it, and again set the visibility for that. For even for the legends, we're going to do the same thing. We'll select the container, we'll drop in all the three legend images inside it, and set the visibility for each one of them. And there is one small thing that we need to keep in mind, that because I want the background image to be visible, I needed to make sure that the color setting for the map is transparent. So basically, we have the stream map and we have all the labels, but it has no color. So this will ensure that we can see the texture, the pattern image at the back. And to do this, what you need to do is that go to the marks card, double click on it. It gives you the option to create a field. Now, since this is a dimension, I'll just add a string to it, call it color. Click outside the box and you have it. Now you can drop this color to the color shelf, and I've already added a transparent color. So go to edit colors and choose this. Go to my, I went back to my palette, chose this transparent color, and I'm good to go. So basically, what I've actually also written a Medium article on this, where each and every step is mentioned, and you can also download this workbook and re-engineer it and see how it works. And the basic concept is that at the back of the we have a container and which has all the three images and then on top of it we have another container which has all the three charts. We've made the charts which have gift boxes in them or the texture pattern in them. We've made those charts transparent so that we can see the labels, we have the interactivity, and it feels like as if uh, the the chart has been set to these particular colors or shapes, but actually at the background we have an image. And this was a fun whiz, but another use case for this kind of chart is that another use case for this could be that you could create annotation images and then you can add it to the background. And once if you're using multiple whizzes in the same container, so once you change the parameters and then you change the whiz view, the annotation also changes along with it. So I just thought this was a really interesting case, and it was just a fun experiment with the TZV for me. The key takeaways for this is that I learned how to create a transparent color. So what we need to do is that you need to go to your My Tableau repository, open the preference.tps file, and then just add this bit of code inside it. And if you are if you've already made changes to it and you have added colors, then you just need to add the inner preference to preference this part of it. Now, a few other things that I learned while working on this particular whiz is that uh, we know that it's very difficult to change the item hierarchy inside when we are working on locally on our Tableau desktop. But if you publish the whiz and then you open the Tableau web authoring option, then it gives you the option to drag and change the hierarchy. And another design tip that I would like to share is that if you're creating a whiz which is more like an information piece, or which is of the dimensions are large, then it's highly recommended that you either stick to scrolling horizontally or vertically, because if you have both horizontal and vertical scroll at the same time, then it makes more difficult to read it. And if you're designing for a desktop or a laptop view, then it's always preferable that you delete the phone view. You can just go to the phone option, and then just the three dots that you see, just click on that, and you will get the option to delete the layout. And if you do that, what happens is that if you're seeing the viz on a phone, then it won't break the way it usually does when we are uh, if this has not been deleted, the phone view. Now, in Tableau, there are so many amazing people who are doing such amazing job. And honestly, anything and everything that I'm working on or I've done is something that I've learned from somebody. And there are a few very good use cases and very good examples for DZV. So I've shared a few links, and you can just check it out. I've also shared a few links for the links of the quizzes that I've created, and the examples that I've shared with you. So thank you so much for having me, and I hope that this is that you could take away something from this particular presentation.
Thank you, Arshi. I think that was wonderful session, and I think the dynamic zone visibility is one of the wonderful feature that has come out for by Tableau,
Yeah,
and I personally used it multiple times, and it has helped in the
yeah,
interactivity of the dashboard.
it has a lot of potential, like
Yes. So okay, now Arshi has shared a lot about the DSV, so we just want to get some insights or some more fun insights from her. So she's going to be having a rapid fire round. So I'm going to ask her some quick questions, and Arshi, you need to answer it in max 3 seconds. Okay.
okay, I'll try to be as quick as possible.
Okay. Your first question: what's your favorite Tableau color palette?
To be very honest, I usually create a custom palette. So,
Nice. Okay, great. The next one: what's your go-to Tableau shortcut?
oh, it's always right click and drag and drop.
Great. That really helps. That gives you multiple options to
Yeah,
work with.
exactly. I actually learned it from Prasan, so that's
Great, great. Okay, so which one would you choose? Filter actions or parameter actions?
parameter actions. Actually, like highlight actions, or so highlighter actions is very useful. So, yeah, but
That's nice.
parameter actions. I think you already know, seeing pieces I shared.
Definitely. Okay, all-time favorite Tableau chart.
Okay, so usually I would say bar chart, but actually I like small multiples a lot. So,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
And I think you have a few on your Viz
yeah, plenty.
profiles. Yes, definitely. Okay, so the fifth one, the final one,
Yeah.
fill in the blanks.
Oh my God, this is difficult. A dashboard without containers is like pizza without toppings.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's nice. That's
No,
nice.
yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. It was great, great session, and I really you know, appreciate you sharing knowledge with the community.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Viraj and Jyoti, for having me. It's been pleasure
Yes.
being here. Thank you.
Okay. So now over to our second wonderful, awesome speaker, who is also the DataFam Rising Star for this year, Surya Kant Mani. He is an analytics engineer at Six Sense, and he is experienced in business technology consulting, and he's quite an active contributor on LinkedIn. If you visit his profile, you will see that he has posted a lot of knowledge about different tools like Tableau, SQL, and so on. So it's a great learning, I would say, from him, and I really hope you get to learn a lot more from his session. Over to you, Surya.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Just to confirm.
Um, are you sharing? No, it's not yet up.
Yeah. Okay. Let me start sharing. So before that, just a quick introduction on me. I'm Surya Kant Mani. I Tableau pretty early in 21. Back then, I was just working on SQL. Honestly, I had no idea why I was creating tables until someone like 3 months later into the project, someone showed me a dashboard and they were like, okay, that's why I'm creating a table. That's where the data goes. Um, Moving forward, I think a few months later, I was very intrigued by how to create a dashboard. So they gave me like one screen to make in a dashboard, and just by going through the process of changing pixels, because when you put in a someone who is into coding and you give him like a UI thing, drag and drop, it becomes very like weirding weird moment where I have to like adjust filters and then adjust every single thing, and containers really drove me crazy. So then I stopped and then restarted, I think 8 months ago, 9 months ago, when I started like learning a bit more about Tableau. So I would know what can be done on Tableau. I just won't know how to do that. For example, dynamic zone visibility, when it came out, I would know it's done, but I did not know how to do it. So I would tell my like people working with me, like, hey, you know what? There's a feature that can hide and show it using parameters, find it, and then I would just like refer them to like use
Surya, are you there?
I think we lost him. I thought it is for me only, but seems like
Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah, he dropped off. So we'll just wait for him to join in.
yeah.
So in the meantime, when Surya joins in, so I would request all you to probably just hang on and keep an eye on what Surya is sharing, and also recollect what Arshi has shared, because there is a quiz at the end which will, get a you'll get a chance to get some cool Tableau swags. So there is a quiz already set up for you. And just to give you the, Surya is actually enjoying his time off, and he has taken time from his busy trip. He's hanging out in Kerala now, and that's from where he's joined us. Unfortunately, there is some network issue, I believe. So in the meantime, I would suggest you take this opportunity and join in the Tableau community Slack channel. I
sorry, so sorry, internet problems.
No worries. So you're back, and
Yeah.
I guess we can see your screen. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I don't know where I cut off, so I'm just gonna start the part where like I've used this particular template a lot in 6 Sense over my journey of 9 months to just build dashboards for them. And then give you an idea of where I'm going with it. I will be using this template to convert it into like a dashboard like this, which is also a template, and then we'll fit in with sheets and see how everything goes. So before that, how I like to model my data is I like to place all my dimensions first. So for example, if I'm making a sales dashboard, that means I need the month, I need aggregated numbers. Basically, I try to avoid raw data as much as I can, and here's why. Exactly today, like in a few hours, there will be a dashboard release for us, and the extract takes like 12 to 15 minutes to refresh on Tableau Cloud, but the dashboard takes less than 2 seconds to load. So that is a huge amount of data, huge chunk of data, very granular data. But then I have like applied relationships instead of joins, or blended the relationships. I've directly applied relationships on logical tables to just make sure that I have the data at the accurate level, and then accordingly I'll formulate my dashboard. So how I like to model them is like, let's say I have regions, I have content, region, countries, states, territories, zip code even, and then I always keep metric category and subcategory. That is why I like to like keep them in a pivot down format, which means my metrics should be in rows, not columns, so that I can use the measure names and measure values. I hope someday we get to use in a calculated field, but today, for the sake of it, um, this is exactly how I try to build it because this gives me the most flexibility around building or even like trying to imagine how a dashboard can be made. So how the template works. Basically, each of these are deletable components, which means I don't need the bottom entire section of tiles. I'll just create them and delete my worksheets as well. There you go. And then obviously size your dashboard however you want it. At the top, I do need 5 KPIs. At the bottom, I do need 5 KPIs, but here I don't need these additional. So I just delete them. I got this idea from Ludovic. He gave a session on templates. So I really learned a lot from that and just tried to create my own. Um, and I need 5 KPIs here, and then 5 KPI boxes. There you go. It looks a little bit like that, just ignoring the left section. But if I put that here, you can almost see it happening. It's just that I have 4 sheets here. I have just 1 sheet in each of them. So I can easily like do these. These are also horizontal ones. So I can just read the container and then lead it here. For now, I've just placed this to be distributed evenly, but the moment I remove it, this gives me that shape that you see over here. So that's the point. Let's go with how to now use this. So I'm pretty sure all of you know this feature of like when you click on a particular sheet, you can swap it out with whatever you want. So I have but a couple of sheets, and I'll show you how my modeling makes it very um, easy for it to work. So let's say the first KPI is total sales. I'll just do this. I'll hide the title and then total sales. So this is how it works. My filter went away. So let me just add the filter of region. See, right. Multiple values drop down, and this was not supposed to happen, but it happened. Cool, it's not working, but fine. Just add a blank sheet. See, I'm still a Tableau newbie at heart, so this will happen to me. Anyways, so as you can see, I have multiple sheets prepped out. So I'll just start swapping them. I won't name them for the sake of time. I'll just show you what they are and why am I doing this. Now, one very quick thing, and I learned this, and I use this everywhere wherever I do this. This is a well kept something that like I really like in my dashboards, which is a shape. So I use transparent shapes so that when I go to dashboard, this becomes like I don't get the blue thingy. This doesn't become a clickable thing, so it becomes very easy. And then I switch off the tooltips. Also, we often hear people saying like, hey, uh, update the formatting of one of your sheets and then just copy that sheet so that you can copy that same thing. But for me, it becomes very simple to just create it like this. And let's say here I have the total customers and the total customers year one. Now, why I wanted to bring this to this point, you can see I only have like metric value and metric value previous, which is like, for example, let's have a monthly data. So for April, metric value will give me April's data and previous can give me like March data, or like if you want to go year over year, you can get like April 2024 data. I keep it like month over month. So this will give me like, I can easily calculate the growth, which is very simple. And because this is a pre-aggregated metric and I have set up a relationship between summary and customer. So you see it beyond the summary field. You don't see it in summary because it's pre-aggregated. So if you ever get confused, where did my calculated field go? It means it's aggregated based on multiple different physical tables that you've linked together using a relationship. That's why it's at the very bottom. It should be outside that part. Now, you can see I have 3 extra KPIs, which means if this is tier 1, I want to keep the same tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 here. So I'll just duplicate this, rename. That's my very first thing. I only learned about commenting the calculated fields today. Thank you, Arshi. Arshi, heard that. So I'll just go with like tier 2 here and this updates. Duplicate again, then 3, and then yes, 4, this. Um, so- and now just replace them. Great. Now we have 2 bottom sections. Let's say I want to give like sales breakdown by 2 different parts. So for the sake of it, I'll just hide my sheets, which I've used. And yes, color code your sheets, please. Like I really believe in color coding them, so it's very easy for me to understand. So here I've just kept like a 100% bar chart percentage of total for like sales breakdown by each tier. I'll duplicate this as well. And right now we have sales by tier. Let's say I want the sales by type, which is the breakdown of like online versus in store. Edit color and then just and then I will go with my sales breakdown tier. Right title. This I can keep a bit of, but same thing. And then how title. I've got to So if I update it, breakdown by year, actually control C, and yep. Almost my one dashboard is like one screen is done. If I just update the titles of the other ones, my dashboard is pretty much done. Yes, the label should not be like the legend. Sorry, legend is not there. I'll update that, but the field should be like normal cascaded. So in the actual data model, I'll just update that as well, and it should be ordered, which is not. But from the looking wise, it's done, which we built it in like really fast. So now I can use the same one, but I just created like we often have to show like in business use cases, there are often cases where we have to show comparisons of trends in way like um, they want 4 different trends at the same place so that they can compare them. So I've just created data. This is customer breakdown by tier. I'll just duplicate it. Again, I'm going to be very honest about this. I know there's a feature that like lets you use just the first alphabet of the month, and that is probably in the dimensions. I have done it some places, but I just forgot now how to do that, so I may look it up later. Um, and then there should be one more, which is customer breakdown by marital status. So now in category, I'll just go update this to marital status category of colors empowered. Um, page. So what this gives me is that I really don't have to worry about my calculations failing because I have pre-aggregated all of my data pieces the way I want them. Um, and that just gives me the complete flexibility to work with it as well as however I want to whatever I want to do with it, basically. Which means I don't have to worry about calculations anymore because I have tested and validated my data numbers. I'm just using Tableau features to report it on a dashboard so that I make it easier and faster to report it. Same case, if I have any filter, I'll just place it at the top, which right now it will come at the rightmost section. Uh, Multiple shut down, move this, and move this. Now, let's say how can I convert this so you can see I have the same field here, but I don't want the top KPIs entire ones. You- People don't want it just to with the container, with the worksheets. Now you say at the bottom also, I just want like a table to show data at a customer level, which is a very prominent one. Everybody, every single exec that I've seen has asked at the end for a table. So I will just delete most of them and live with leave just one. And then just for the sake of it, I think I have size fixed. So I just do it like see on the cool. And then I don't have the filter placed here. This one. And so now I do have charts prepared for this one as well. And you can see I have color coded them so I can add the sheets. Which makes it very easy for me to understand if I have the chart prepared or not. So I will just swap them again. And then here I have a table, which I'll also swap. So I title with very dummy data, so nothing to worry about here why it's not showing up. It may be 0. But actually, and then hide titles. And there you go. It was very quick to build it. And I have my whatever I needed in store because of using the templates. Further thing which I could not show here was I have also built like for work. I've also created templates that I use um, directly for building the charts. So, for example, for most of the charts, you need based on if I show you a particular tree, just show me. And then for each of them, you just get to see how many dimensions and measures you need for all of these charts. So using them, I've already created like a template that you just replace the data source and the charts are prepared for you automatically by when you replace references. And that is the piece that people use mostly with it. So I think we took around 15 minutes and we have a dashboard that's hopefully in working condition, I hope. Yep. And we have it working as per expectations. Um, so, and obviously it will take some time, more time to like format it out, like 5-10 minutes. Again, did the same thing. I removed the blank. But yes, now the problem with containers, every single person that I know has had problems with containers. This just solves it out because you can see I did not have to suffer through the problem of adding a container, replacing a container, or anything changing the size. I just have to like change the size a couple of times and that's done. And you can see we used like, if I just would have done that, I would just have like replace them, increase the size of this, decrease the size of this, and then I would have come up with this template. So this is how I use it. And then just go, and then obviously there are feedbacks and everything that comes in, but this like brings me to a very good point wherein I don't have to like shuffle through works and then work a lot, or at times like this when I'm on vacation, I don't have to like worry about work. So I know that my dashboard is a pretty good place because my data is validated entirely before I bring it on Tableau, which means, and like I gave the example, the extract takes like 12 to 15 minutes to refresh, but dashboard loads in less than 2 seconds. Now, couple of additional things that I use, and um, I go with like there are 2-3 things that I like to do. Documentation, which is to be done on like I mostly prefer an external tool. So I give like a URL action to take care of documentation. if I have a help that just explains the dashboard, you can see for now it was everything was tiled, which is like I think I prefer tiled ones. I rarely go with floating dashboards, but floating containers on dashboard or floating objects on dashboard. But for help, I just add a floating one. And then I use the show hide. I don't go with dynamic zone visibility for help buttons because for every single dashboard, I may have a single help, and people may choose not to open the help one. But if I have an update notice, let's say the dashboard is V1, we go into V2 or V3, people want to know what changed. In that case, you have seen it application as well. You go through that, you read the update note once, you close it. You don't want to see it on every single screen. So that's where I go with dynamic zone visibility. I just add a parameter that says on or off or like 1 or 0, and then use that so that once you've pressed close on it, you're good. You don't have to go through it again. Or like go through steps. I've also done with like explaining them what each KPI is with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've named steps accordingly and then go with that so that people don't have to repeat that step again and again. Um, yes, so that is all that I had about this. Thank you so much for uh, allowing me to present.
Awesome, Surya. I think those were some wonderful tips and trick, and I could actually feel like this was like those spit tips sessions of Tableau conference, so where Lorna or and used to present it quickly. So that's wonderful. Thank you. I think we got to know a lot of tips and tricks. And so over to you for the rapid fire round. Okay, I believe you're all set now. Let's move ahead. So your first question is Tableau aha moment.
Building the Wiz using map layers, like in
Uh,
just one sheet.
oh, that's wonderful. I think that's a really actually an aha moment. I think for everyone, I would say that's nice. Okay, your next question. Your favorite Tableau shortcut.
Swapping the sheets.
And I can see you have used it a lot in this, and that really, I saw the chat. It was blowing up, and everyone actually liked that. So it was a great thing. Well, if you could add a magic feature to Tableau overnight, what would it be?
I think I'm a design person, so gradient coloring, maybe with the bars. I don't use that many images, so gradient coloring probably. It's a very bad answer, I know that, but
No, no, it's up. It's your personal choice, so that's wonderful. What's your spirit chart?
stack bar chart.
Okay, I would say I am a more like a scatter chart. I'm everywhere, so but that's a nice. Okay, so the last question. Nothing beats a beautiful in Tableau. Just fill in the blanks.
Documentation.
Wonderful. That really helps, and I believe when you're working with multiple dashboard, documentation really helps. And I think we got a few tips from Arshi about documentation
Yep.
today, so that was wonderful. Great. So thank you, Surya, for this wonderful session. And